Hi, everyone. Welcome to Clutch Entertainment today. And today we're going to be talking about how to be an authentic person and to be your true self with others. A lot of us may see this as, oh, I'm trying to be authentic. I'm trying to be real. I am real with people. But a lot of times we don't realize that. We have to have um, basically a humble mindset in order to look back and show ourselves that, you know, we're not always 100% real with people, and we always don't want to, give off that sense that, we are a certain way because we may look bad. We may look like someone is, like not going to treat us a certain way, or someone's not going to talk to us a certain way, or take us to that level where we don't want to, to be, or to be judged, or anything like that, as far as the sense with that. So today I'm just going to be talking about like some things we can do and some things that, contribute to the authenticity issues. So first off, I would say like the first thing out of all this is we all struggle with authenticity. We all have problems with, showing our real selves, being around people, and our society teaches us otherwise, not to, show our true selves, because if we show our true selves, we're going to be vulnerable. And that's the issue here. So I would say the number one thing is, realizing that and then communicating exactly what you're saying and what you're doing, and being true about what you say. So I would say that one of the other important thing to start off with is when you're being busy, for example, this is probably the most popular thing. People ask you, oh, what are you doing today? I'm just busy. Okay. There's ways to answer this question besides busy. Okay. You can answer the question like, yeah, I'm working on my house. I'm relaxing today. I'm just really tired. I just don't feel like spending time today. I need some time to myself. Like, those are the type of answers we should answer if we don't have anything going on. But if we truly have something going on, then we should say, yeah, I'm going over to my parents' house. I'm going to this party. I'm going to this wedding. I'm going to this event. We should say exactly what we're doing. The only time we shouldn't answer a question is if it's like a surprise birthday party. I mean, that's the only time we shouldn't answer the question, or if it's something that's going to morally hurt someone. But other than that, like, I would say 98 or 99% of the time, we should answer this question. Okay. I have an example for you. Like, someone asks, oh, how are you doing today? I'm doing well. What are you doing today? Oh, I'm at home today. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to chill, work my podcast here and do some chores. I'm going to keep busy with that. But when I'm saying I keep busy with that, I'm not saying I am busy avoiding the question. Okay. What I'm saying is being honest with what you're saying. That example I'm giving you is I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling you exactly, what's going on. Yeah, I'm just going to relax. Yeah, I'm going to watch some TV. I'm going to watch football. I'm going to watch some hockey. Whatever you're going to do, just be honest. Like, what's the worst people are going to say? Oh, wow, you're watching football. How lazy of you. Like, no, people aren't going to say that. People are saying, oh, that's nice. I wish I had a day off or something like that. But I would say that's probably one of the most important things we need to focus on is the busy word. We need to get rid of the busy word. That's probably the worst word that we use when somebody asks us, oh, what are you doing today? Or what's going on? Like, I'm busy. Like, that's not a way to communicate, and that's not a way to, be authentic. It's being fake. Just be honest, tell the truth with that. And, if you're going through a hard time, tell the truth. Yeah, I'm going through a hard time. Like, it's not going to make you look any worse or better. People sometimes want to know just because they look out for you also. So I would say the second thing would be to examine yourself, like look at yourself in the mirror, like examine how your behavior affects others and how it's going to affect you. Make sure you're, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, am I telling the truth? Am I doing the right thing? Am I, taking care of business? What's going to make me, have the best behavior towards others and to show who I really am. If I just say, yeah, I'm cool. I don't like, you don't give any details at all about my life. Like, that's not going to help me as a whole. It's not going to make me as real or possible as I can be. I would say the next thing, I would say you could practice with others, practice with a family member, practice with a friend. Make sure you're, putting yourself out there. Make sure you're taking care of like who like needs to be taken care of, and like taking that practice and that time out for yourself, like really helps you to, next time when you interact with someone, how it can be better, you know? And I would say another thing is examine your doubts in your life and your judgments. Like, so for example, if you're afraid that people are going to look at you and say, man, he's a terrible man, like, then you need to look at that and say, like, is that truly what they're going to say? Is that truly what they're going to think? And no, it's truly not what they're going to think. It's literally going to, make you think that, but it's not going to do anything besides that. So I would say, like, examine like how and why you're thinking these things. One time I was at a homily at church, and a priest once said, 2/3 of your brain is negative and 1/3 of your brain is positive. So a lot of the times we always see things at its worst. We don't see anything that's at its positive because we have the dominant side, and on the other side, we're fighting that dominant negative side. So the positive takes a lot to come out for you. And that positivity really can affect how you are and what you're doing in your life. I would say another thing is, just love yourself. Look at yourself and say, I do matter. I'm a good person. Like, people will see me as a good person. I'm doing the right thing. And follow up with your actions when you do things with people. That makes you more authentic too. You want to show who you really are and what you're about, and your actions speak louder than words a lot of the times. I could say I'm the greatest guy on the planet, but if I don't ever do anything for anybody, does that make me the greatest guy on the planet? No. It just makes me look like a fool because I'm just all talk and no action. So make sure you follow up with, good action, good affirmative action, and good ways to, treat others the right way, to take care of yourself, like even taking care of your like physical and mental health. Like that's going to be a huge part of like with your confidence level, and to be more authentic, because the more confident you are, the more authentic you're going to be, and the more likely that, you're going to be, happy with what you're doing, happy with what you're saying, happy with what, other people are thinking of you. More likely you're going to be focused on the inward self, more than the outward self. So try to change that focus to your outward self, where you're expressing yourself, where you're taking yourself to the next level, where you're bringing, everyone else around with you, and that's going to help you be the best person you can be. If you're just going through life, you're just browsing through, just taking a few seconds and you're just like, oh, I'm just talking, I'm busy, I'm, doing this, that, like, and you don't take any thought at all, and you're just on autopilot. It's just like when you're driving a car sometime. You could be at that point where you're just like, going down the road and you're thinking, oh, I'll be there in a few minutes. Like, and you're just thinking like all kinds of random thoughts as you're driving, but you're not actually focusing on driving. You're on like an autopilot, like a micro sleep kind of thing. Like, it's the same kind of thing. We need to get out of that and to see ourselves in this moment, like in this present moment. What am I doing? How am I being as real as possible? Because that's what matters. We got to be as real as possible with each other. We need to communicate with each other. We need to put ourselves out there, and we need to say, look, this is where I want to be. This is who I want to show who I am. And I want to, make people, be able to be like, hey, I remember that guy. He's a nice guy. Like, he tells the truth. He's very honest. He's very loyal. Like, all kinds of good qualities about me. Like, and if you have that with yourself, that's the key. That's going to make you the best person you can be and help you to, overall be truly authentic and to be that person that you're meant to be. So I would say another thing is, be patient with yourself. It takes time to get to the level that you're like, oh, I can just say this all the time and I'm good. I would say over the years, like, based on my communication experience and how I've expressed myself with others and how I've, got to different places in my life. Like, I have learned a lot, and that's what's made me more authentic. It's a work in progress. I'm never 100% authentic with people, but a lot of the times I've been trying lately, especially with busyness, like instead of saying I'm busy, I could say something like I'm busy doing X, Y, and Z, telling the truth what you're doing. Or if you're like, don't want to hang out with somebody, say, yeah, look, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm kind of tired from the week. I don't really feel like hanging out. Like, tell the truth. People say, oh, you're not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. Just say, look, like, please respect me. Please respect my space. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that. That's just asking people for some space, for some, patience, for some, care and love, That's what we want, And I would say another thing you can try is, make changes to your life if you're like unsure, and strive towards a purpose or goal. And if you could strive for that purpose or goal in your life where you want to be, you can go along the way and show that authenticity as you're going through towards that goal. So if you want to be, I don't know, say you want to be a medical doctor, for example. So what I would do is always be honest with your patients, always treat your patients well, treat your coworkers well, treat the nurses well, like tell them exactly what they need to do, and don't do any shortcuts. Don't do anything that's going to make them, resent you. Inappropriate things like, sexual harassment at work, or, if you're going to yell at someone or berate someone, don't do that. Like, be as real as you can be as honest as you can be, and persevere. That's what you need to do to become very authentic and to be the best person you can be in general. So that authenticity, is contagious. People look at you and they say, man, I really want to be like that guy, or I want to be like that girl, whoever's, showing that example. People always look to others all the time. We always look at how bad we are and how great everyone else is. So if we're seeing people all the time that are good people doing good things, that's going to inspire us and say, man, I want to be like that person. I want to do that. I wish I could be like that. Like, at first you may have that doubt where I can't do it. But over time, with practice, with communication skills, with friendships, families, like, there's no way that you cannot accomplish it. Like, there's no way. Like, you can accomplish it. That's the thing. Like, a lot of times we underestimate ourselves, and we put ourselves in a position where we think, man, I can't do this. But you actually can. So it's all about never giving up, not like worrying about, oh, I'm terrible at this, like, or I don't want people to know what's going on in my life because they're going to see me in a bad light. Now, obviously, there's only one exception to all this. Like I said, if it's going to hurt somebody, or if it's like a surprise for a birthday party, like I said before. So if it's going to hurt somebody, for example, say you are, doing something dishonorable, like you are doing something like inappropriate, for example, like you're, I don't know, robbing a bank. You don't want to tell people you're robbing a bank. You want to tell the police that, but you don't want to tell people that. Or if you say something like, yeah, I've murdered 5 people before. Like, no, you don't want to say that, because that's going to harm you, or it's going to harm someone else. Like, so you don't want to put any kind of negative image of you. So it's, in a way, it's just speaking positive and speaking truthfully. If you're a bad person overall in general, you don't want to say I'm a bad person. Like, there's other ways to say things. Like, I've struggled with some things. I'm not the best person, but I've done some bad things and I regret it. Like, that's more appropriate than saying, yeah, I did X, Y, and Z. You're still telling the truth. That's what matters. So overall, I was going over some things to be an authentic person today, and I hope you got something out of this. So if you can like and subscribe, that would be great. But thank you for watching Clutch Entertainment, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and see you next week. Thanks. Bye.